Welcome back, Dust to Dollars community. In our last episode, we laid out the blueprint for our no cash startup. Today, we're diving into the action, turning those plans into reality. I'm Laszlo, and you're watching Dust to Dollars, the no cash challenge. First, we're gonna look at preparations. In any venture, preparation is key. Before we start selling gadgets, let's make sure we're organized. I put together a checklist to guide us through the process. We need to sort our items, clean our workspace, and ensure we have all the necessary tools at hand, like cleaning supplies and the camera for product photos, and whatever else we would need depending on what you're trying to sell. It's all about setting ourselves up for success. Now let's talk about the gadgets and the items we're going to sell. Not everything is fair game. We want items that have demand and resale potential. But also, we're going to try to sell items which are a little bit harder to sell. Maybe they don't have such a broad market, but we're going to look into how and where can we still get a good value for them instead of just binning them. Probably these will come in the next episodes where we might take some of those items and repurpose them, or go out there and find some very specific market where actually they worth something. At the moment, I'm looking for gadgets that are in good condition and have a market and are easy to ship. For instance, a vintage camera that's still in working order, or a set of headphones, or I even have a drone, and things like this, what can actually be easily sold. So let's sift through my collection together and check out what can we find in the list and what can we sell. And if we're jumping over to the computer here, basically I created a quick list of close to 100 items just for start. And I even listed some of them from which I have a few already sold. Now the ones which are marked with some green amount here, they are already sold. So we already cashed in some input capital for our new venture. If you look at all of these, I have all kind of different things. I have a lot of tech gadgets, and I have a lot of toys. Also, I have some tools, and so on. Now, first I set a target of $2,000 for start, which we're gonna try to achieve as a first goal, and that we will use that to create our new office, a new studio, new setup, everything we need. Good news is we already have almost $1,600 worth of items. Now, if we look at the chart, initially I don't have them listed in dollars. Since I'm in Hungary at the moment, basically here Hungarian forint is the main currency, and since these are items for the local market, the price is set in forints. Now, the red ones are sold, the yellow ones are listed, the rest still needs to be listed. And they are automatically converted into dollars at an average base conversion rate. So this is what we can expect to sell in the near future, hopefully. And I still have a lot of items what I didn't put on the list yet, but that will come as well in the future. At the moment, I just didn't have time, so I just took these items first, and we will continue with the rest. Of course, during the process of building our new venture, we're not only going to sell these items, we're actually going to try to get new items, and we're also going to try to get some older ones, maybe fix them, maybe repurpose them, see if we can get some value out of them. I'm also going to do some deeper insight where I will show you how to list your items, how to search for the right market for them, and so on. So, as we have a list already, we go to the next preparation phase. With our gadgets selected, it's time to prepare them for sale. Cleaning, testing, and so on. We want to present them in the best possible condition to be able to get the best value out of them. For each item, I'll carefully clean it, ensuring it looks its best. Then, I'll test it to make sure it is fully functional. We're not just selling products, we're selling trust and reliability. If we want to build trust and reliability in the market, and build out a name, then we will have to be very careful with these details. Now, let's talk visuals. Basically, quality photos and accurate representation are crucial for online listings. Good listing and a clear background can make a huge difference. And I will even show you some examples here how the same product can be listed in two different ways. If it's just in a cluttered background and dirty or maybe a busy background, it doesn't really stand out on the photo. So it's important to create a nice clean picture of your item so it's visible to everyone and everyone can focus purely on it without distractions. Same thing when you go out to buy a brand new item. Basically, you're seeing professional photos with nothing else on the picture, so you can see exactly what you're getting. It's important and it makes a difference to have this on the second-hand units as well. I show you how to take photos that highlight the product's features and condition. It's all about making a great first impression after all. Now, if you have the photos, the next step is to choose the sales platform. With our gadgets ready, where do we sell them? Let's explore different platforms and their pros and cons. Facebook Marketplace is great for local sales, while eBay offers a broader audience. Each platform has its own audience and fees, so we'll choose based on what suits our gadgets best. When you're going to move on from gadgets to, let's say, different products, it might worth changing even if you start on one. For example, on Facebook Marketplace, I would start advertising the products I want to sell local to local people by meeting them or maybe shipping it out. If you get into different kind of products later, and we will do that when we are upgrading our business, we're going to get into digital products. They are borderless. Basically, you don't need physical contact, you don't need a location, you can send it anywhere because you're not basically sending it, you're selling it online and it's a download or sharing some information. So we will look at that later. Next, we need to create the online listings. So, time to create our online listings here, and this is where we showcase our gadgets to potential buyers. A good listing has a clear title, a detailed description, and specifies any defects or unique features. I demonstrate how to write a listing that's honest and appealing. This can significantly increase our chances of a sale. We might come back to this point as well later when we're going to broaden our sales. With the pricing strategy, that's the next question. How do we determine the right price for our gadgets? Let's talk about setting a fair and competitive price. We'll look at similar items sold online to gauge the market rate. Remember, pricing too high can deter buyers, while pricing too low can undersell the item's value. It's about finding that sweet spot. Now, if you have the price, you need to think about marketing. Creating listings is one thing. Getting them noticed is another. So it's time to delve into the marketing strategies. We can share our listings on social media or even in community groups. It's about increasing visibility. Simple tactics like using relevant hashtags or posting at peak times can make a big difference. After listing, it's important to engage with potential buyers. Communication is key when selling online. So in the next episodes, we will discuss effective ways to engage with potential buyers. Being prompt and courteous in your responses builds trust. Also, be prepared to answer questions about the item and always be honest. Building a good reputation is crucial. Now, let's talk about transactions. Whether meeting in person or shipping items, safety and security are paramount. For in-person sales, always meet in a public place. For shipping, use tracked services and ensure the item is packed securely. We'll go over some of the best practices to keep both parties safe and satisfied. It's essential to document this journey. Let's talk about why and how we capture the process for you, our audience. I'll be recording snippets of the entire process, from cleaning the gadgets to responding to buyer inquiries. This behind-the-scenes look can be incredibly valuable for learning and transparency. As we progress, it is crucial to reflect on the experience. So join me even in the next episodes as I share personal reflections on selling gadgets for initial capital. We'll discuss what worked, what didn't, and how we can improve. Every step is a learning opportunity, and sharing our journey helps us all grow. So, are you feeling inspired? I hope so. Now it's your turn. I encourage you to take your first steps in selling unused items and turning them into dollars. Start with one small item, test it out, try different ways to approach the market, organize, prepare, and list it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, so it's very important not to forget that. Thank you for joining this episode of Dust to Dollars, the No Cash Challenge. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next exciting chapter in our journey. Next time, we'll explore how to start new income streams, how to get into starting a YouTube channel, another one of course, how do we choose the niche, how do we choose what kind of topics will we be sharing on that one. Also, we will be doing some tutorials and we're going to continue our sales. We're going to continue to sell our items, and when we run out of working items in good condition, we're going to dip into the older, harder to sell items. We're going to try to fix them, we're going to try to repurpose them and increase their value and also sell them. For some of them, we're going to have to find a specific market. For others, we will have to figure out some different use. But we're going to have a lot of fun and we're gonna make hopefully a lot of cash, even at the beginning with these small steps, before we can actually have a proper turnover, a proper return on our investments. I will also be showing you how to use the income generated from these unused items and build yourself a new office, home office, or a new YouTube studio, get the gear and whatever you need for your new venture. It's going to be just an arm's length away, and I will show you the easy way how to save thousands of dollars just with a few practical steps and some good advice how you can do things yourself instead of just buying. Just on my desk, what I have now, the new one, I saved over $1,000, and I will share the journey in one of the next videos. Also, another thing what I'm gonna do to this small office, I'm gonna try to automate everything as much as possible to save time with setting up. So I'm gonna have a smart office here instead of having to turn on every single item one by one and do the setup for everything. I'm gonna make it as plug and play, as fast as possible to suit all my needs, and you should do everything to suit your needs, of course, depending on what you do and what you plan. So as we dive deeper into the world of no cash entrepreneurship, you will have a lot of new information and a lot of useful advice coming your way. Until then, keep turning dust into dollars. This is Laszlo signing off, and see you in the next one.